do you have some like beginner tips that we could even talk about right now? Because Lord knows I do.
Well, the thing is, in my tutorial, I did like a tour of, for instance, the stag shop.
Great. Yeah.
And that was one of the first like sex shops that I really like frequented and went into.
Yeah.
Most recently, I did a tour and interview at Good for Her, which is
Carlisle.
Exactly. She's amazing.
Yes.
She's like so perfect when it came to like giving like the G-spot tutorial. It was fun. And, you know, like she had a little
vulva puppet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was good. And I mean, like these are things that are informative. So you go to these places and you ask questions. And the thing about anal is there's different parts of the arsenal kit that you need. I would recommend, for instance, you get the lubrication.
Oh yeah,
because
a thick lube.
Exactly, but vaginal lube is different from anal lube.
Definitely, yeah.
Because back there you need a little bit more of that thickness.
You need some body to the lube.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want it to be watered down bullshit. Yes.
Yeah, like save the water-based lubricant for
your
the
vaginal
vagina.
sex. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
the flavored ones are really good too, just in case people like to dibble and dabble down there. But yeah, like for instance, you get like the anal lube. You also got to get what is it? There's also like a numbing cream.
Yeah, you can get a numbing cream, but I always say beware. Use with extreme caution, because when you're numbing an area, that means that you can't feel when it's being hurt.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing with pain, is it's telling you that something's wrong. So you're not going to know something's wrong with a numbing cream.
But they have flavored ones too.
Which makes no sense. Oh my God. But, so, okay, you're licking a numbed area. So not only can they not feel it, but now your tum is numb.
But the liquor will enjoy it, because at least I had a cherry flavored one. I bought it just for the sake of. I mean, it smells
I know the one
nice.
you're talking about, Annalise.
Yeah. So there's different brands, right? And I mean, at the same time, starting small is good. I mean,
definitely. Oh yeah.
If you think
small
about
and slow.
Exactly. Look at the toys though; they're huge. And if you think about honestly your rectum and that whole anal area, like it's not a very big space, especially if you're not utilizing to put anything in. Mostly things come out.
Yes.
Right. So starting like with the anal beads, or starting with fingers, for instance, and just massaging the area and slowly going in is an easy way to kind of transition into anal, instead of thinking, okay, yeah, he's rock hard right now. Like, yeah, put it in.
Let's do
or,
it.
You know,
I've
just
always
have a
wanted
big
to
toy.
do this. Let's do it. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
And Vaseline, like all these things, like they're easy to use props that you might just have, because a lot of people just talk about it. But even Vaseline in the vagina area, like, don't use it.
It says on it external use only.
You're begging for like a yeast infection.
Yeah, and everything infection. Just that you'll have some nasty shits.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So the big thing is, like, if you're having sex and you're just getting curious, like, don't double dip. Like, don't be in the vagina and go into the asshole and then back and forth. Not a good thing.
Yeah.
But
porn stars do that. But,
oh gosh. But they break, or hopefully they do, because some people are just really nasty.
They do show just one shot where they're going back and forth. Like, you know, that I would not. Do not.
Yeah, don't get too creative. I mean, and don't feel pressured if somebody's forcing you, okay, let me just put it here. It's like recommended, use protection, like use a condom. It doesn't hurt to do that. It won't spoil the mood if the person cares about your health and your physical dimensions. Yeah, like you don't want to be bleeding all over the place and all that stuff. I mean, just there's ways about it, and like I said, there's just make sure you have the right stuff. Like preparation is key, whether it be vaginal sex, oral sex, and all these things. There's so many things that you can just get to try to just have on deck, so that when you are participating in these sexual acts, like you're good, you know. And those things I'd recommend, at least, to just have even like an anal lubricant for anal. Don't just share because you have lube for your vagina that it's safe to just use it for your anal. No, it won't work, and the same effect won't be there.
Yeah. Although there is one lube that does it all that I love, and that's Sliquid Sassy Booty Gel.
Wow.
It used to be called, actually, I think they took off
big one.
the booty gel because it is very versatile. It's just called Sliquid Sassy right now, and it's in a little pink bottle, and it's like it's thick enough for anal play, anal sex type stuff. It's pH balanced, glycerin free, paraben free, and not globby thick like it says. It used to say booty gel, but I wouldn't even characterize it as being a gel. So it's like kind of in between, where for me, I'm like, I can use it with toys, I can use it for vaginal sex, I can use it orally, I can use it anally. But that literally is the only lube I have ever come across that is like thick enough to do this and like thin enough to do this.
Or some people use saliva, honestly.
Yeah.
Licking your finger and trying it out, massaging the area, that works too.
Yeah,
So.
that too. Yeah, get a lot of. Try to get as much. Like give a real like a real.
Make sure it's really wet.
Really wet. Yeah. Okay, since we're talking about all your kind of tips and tricks and whatnot, you were mentioning before that you have some tutorials on some hand job situations. Are you able to give me? I brought my super
looks like a popsicle.
My super gay. I was wondering if you could give me some hand job tricks.
Sure.
Yeah. Would it be easier to have this
closer to me?
Yeah, for you to show and then for me to see if I can.
Yeah. I'd recommend using your dominant hand. So I'm right-handed, so I'd recommend like using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Take off the scrunchie. Yeah.
I don't have any lube to make it moist or anything like that.
Your earrings off.
We'll take the rings off too.
Take the ring off.
Let's take them off. Put them over here. So. Yeah, like I said, with these things, you have to be conscientious of size. I mean, at the end of the day,
this is big.
This is a good size. This is ideal.
Yeah.
I mean, not every.
This is ideal.
Not every guy is gonna be at
That's
this,
dick, yeah.
hardness or this, firmness. But like I have small hands, so
girthiness.
it makes it easy to grip. So, for instance, there's different ways on stimulating a guy, and with how you hold it. Yep. So there's a little bit of the ball play that you can have, running your fingers through it, grabbing it with one hand, like palming the balls or whatever. Some people like them like played with, tossed around down there. Like I said, you could do the 2 strokes. So for instance, this material is a little bit harder. If I had like a glass one or whatever, it'd be easy. But sometimes I like to do the corkscrew, which is what I call that twist move.
All right.
So it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
Going 2 directions at the same time. And then there's different ways to
the never ending. Exactly. The never ending stroke. Yeah.
Guys love this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you go up and down, you go really fast. I actually have like a really fast hand jerking movement. Yeah. Actually, on one of my videos, somebody downloaded it and they were actually trying to calculate the speed because I was going so fast. Like on my Pornhub video, like I was doing this, like I was, doing oral, and then it was just like there's this fast move that sometimes somebody might like, and it was just funny to know that it was like I didn't even know how much.
Somebody's figuring out the science behind it.
And there is.
Love those super fans.
And then also a lot of guys like having their head just played with, right? So sometimes it's a matter of just flicking off the tip of the head. Yep. And then I like to kind of go around it because it's not a lot of people like the pleasure in their tip or their hole or whatever.
Right. That's super sensitive, right?
For some people. And some people, honestly, they like different levels of aggression when it comes to it. Some people want you to squeeze it really hard. If it's oral play, some people like to have their, penis bitten and stuff like that. So, I mean, it all depends on the person. Yeah. So,
and again, we were saying how you're like, okay, it's much different doing it with a toy than a person, obviously, because you're getting the feedback. You're being
told, okay, no, not so hard, not so hard.
Yeah. So listen and watch.
It's engaging. And I mean, especially when you're doing a hand job, some people are not really some people actually really love that. It's contact, and that's what it represents. It means touch, and touch is intimacy, important for a lot of people. And like I said, going around the top or whatever might be a sensitive area, but it might be pleasuring. Going around the tip, like I said, the corkscrew move. You can use one hand. Going fast, there's so many ways.
Would you use lubricant generally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lube is nice because it's like you're massaging it, right? Because I also do give really good massages as well.
I don't doubt it.
So when you're doing it with, for instance, a toy or a real person, it's you want to engage them, you want to talk to them, you want to make them feel like they're getting the massage, and you stroke it in a very, sensual kind of way. So these are things that make somebody feel still like they're getting pleasure, but they feel relaxed and they actually feel like somebody. Because
I love that you put it in the framework of treat it as if you're giving someone a massage.
Yeah.
I love putting it in that framework, that it's a act just all by itself. Yeah. It's not let's rush through this jerky off a couple times before we move on to the next thing. It's okay, no, let's take time to perform this one act. You lay back, let me do my thing for as long as I want to do it for, to get you relaxed and make you feel good and communicate my,
techniques, and it's all about it's being in control too, but also being receptive of the type of control you have, because some people might just look around and not
checking
care.
their phone,
I'll pay attention, I'll get in there, I'll get thorough, and you know what I mean, like sometimes I'll use the right hand, the stronger hand, sometimes I'll use the left hand and do whatever strokes that are requested, and sometimes I improvise and might teach somebody something new that they're not really familiar, like, oh, that feels good, like I said,
what'd you do there? Oh yeah,
exactly. So it's just really just hand play and just engaging with what feels good for the person, because some people like their whole shaft stimulated down at the ball stimulated, and then some people just like the tip,
right?
So it's same thing with oral, like there's ways of pleasuring somebody, but just also being guided on what they are receptive to and what they enjoy. And that's what makes a real person different from a toy, because if I had lube right now, I could do all kind of sloppy stuff, and I mean, some people, your speed can increase and there's different engagement you can get with that, but this colorful material here is silicone, right?
So. That's a pure silicone. And what's funny is there's glitter all over this thing.
And real people don't have that. They don't have all the sparkles and stuff.
It's not supposed to have glitter on it. This is like just from my bag. But like, it couldn't be
shiny,
more appropriate to have glitter on a dildo than this one.
That's already colored and sparkled.
I know. It's just perfect.
Rainbow. Yeah.
Should we move to some oral sex tips? I know I just kind of brought out this dildo, so feel no pressure at all to fillet my dildo, but just
I use protection. Oh my gosh, I don't even have any flavored condoms, and that's what I mostly recommend for people that are participating in oral sex, and it's not like a direct intimate partner. Is like the Durex flavored condoms are really good.
Yeah, the Durex, specifically the Durex brand.
I have a tutorial. Sorry, I have a comparison video where I did.
You had a little review going on.
Exactly, going on between the Trojan and Durex, and I can't do Trojan. Like, I mean, it just even
what's wrong?
I don't know. I just never was a fan of Trojan condoms to begin with.
Okay.
I just never really liked it. It just has a strong, lubricated smell. Yeah. And I just feel like, I don't know, the material is so chalky on it, whereas the condom, like, it's not my thing. And I've just been very comfortable with Durex and the flavored condoms. I feel like the flavor lasts a long time,
flavors are good?
They are. There's 4. I think Trojan, I believe, had 3.
Yeah.
And they were very, like, bootleg flavored. Like, it wasn't, like, it wasn't authentic. I know it's, like, really, like, what is it? Like fake flavored anyways.
Yeah, it's artificial anyways. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I just felt like it just tasted a little bit better, and it's just like you get like strawberry, you get like green apple, you get like orange, and you get banana.
Nice.
All right. Great colors. Yeah. Almost like this little rainbow.
Oh, yeah. We've basically got all the colors here. And you would, I love how you're saying to give oral with a condom, because a lot of people.
At the same time, don't stop there.
Yeah.
When you give oral, you can transition right into sex after, because
you got the condom on.
Getting it moist, you're, performing oral sex, and it tastes good for the person doing it and as well as the person receiving it, because if you're doing great sex, it should be a win-win for both.
Yeah.
And then when you're ready to just stick it in, it's already, moist with the saliva that you provided on there, or if you need to add lube, the same condom can remain, and just go in with that.
Yeah.
So,
and you can be, if you would like to have like penis and vagina sex right after, and perhaps you're not totally ready, you can be using a toy on yourself while you're giving head. You can be using a little vibe on yourself. You can be using your hands, doing some manual stimulation of yourself while you're doing it as well, which is the fun of it. You can do anything. You can do anything.
That's why
with your available hands. Like you can be given head with no hands. And
hands free,
and having the two hands for yourself. So.
Hands free, and there's so many techniques you could try and do. And I mean, like I said, it is based on size as well. There's more things you can do with something or with a penis that's actually like a decent size. If it's micro, it's micro. I mean, you can't help it, but then you still gotta try to use the techniques I provided, but just maybe instead of a whole hand, you're maybe using 2 fingers or so. So
just adapt it down.
Accommodate to the dick size.
To the dick. One thing that I like that you were saying on one of your tutorials is like you're like, first things first, like give the dick some love, show the dick some love.
Give it a name, honestly. Give it a name, whether you're intimately involved with the person or not. Like, I mean, it's just so easy to just give it a name so you get connected, because sometimes you might be, doing, oral play with somebody you're not really connected with, and you're just doing it for the sake of, and you just kind of want to get it over with. So, like, I mean, like, showing it some love.